Hi, good morning.
That was the longest 3 seconds. I couldn't wait to you.
Oh my goodness, here we are. Good morning, everyone.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
It's kind of, it is
Go ahead.
Tuesday, but it's kind of Monday for some people because yesterday was a holiday for some.
It was, yeah, but we're in real estate and we don't really get holidays usually, so.
Or weekends.
Yep. Don't know what any of that stuff is. As a reminder, we are now live streaming our podcast in our private Facebook community as well as on the YouTube channel. But for those of you who prefer to listen to us on your podcast, we are available Thursday mornings, wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple iTunes, Anchor, we're there. And today we are talking about all things leads.
We hear you. We hear what you're asking for, and we're here to deliver it.
Yes, so many people keep asking about leads because honestly, that's how we run our businesses. That's where we make our money from, is leads turning into clients. So this is a big one everybody keeps asking about. So we wanted to.
And there is not a single problem on this entire world, Earth. There's not a single problem on this entire Earth that a good lead can't fix.
Facts. Spoken like a true real estate agent.
Like, you could be having the worst day ever and all of the bad things are happening, and then the phone rings and somebody wants to buy a luxury listing and you are on it and your whole mood changes.
Or a seller calls you and says, hey, when can you sell my house?
That's right. Of course we can.
So today, while we're talking about leads, it's important, the things that we discussed today, we want to preface that with saying that not everything works for everyone. Okay, so you need to find the things that you want to focus on that work for you, that make you happy, help you excel at, and then focus on just those things and not all the other stuff that makes you unhappy.
Right. Like we talked about last week, like simplifying our lives. This list that we've put together is not to overwhelm you or to make you feel like you're not doing enough. It's to kind of broaden your horizons, your thought process. And then once you realize what works for you, you stick with it. And then during the slow times, you bring in the little pieces that you want to experiment with.
Absolutely. So we're going to jump right in with some great ideas for lead generation and what that might look like on your end. So to start it off, I want to talk about seminars. Now, these can be online seminars or in-person seminars. And some of the topics would be, first-time buyer seminars, first-time sellers. You can niche it down to military families, military buyers. Why is that different for them? And go into, the VA loan process, have your preferred lender that specializes in that come and talk about that. Retirement seminars, investor seminars, vacation seminars, and a new one that a lot of people are really into now would be the Airbnb type ones. So even if this is not your area of specialization, you can just bring in the people that can help with that. So if it's the military, bring in that lender to talk about the VA process. And then you obviously are the expert in the process of, getting those VA offers accepted and the stipulations that come along with VA appraisals and different things like that. So we're not going to go super far into each one of these categories because we don't have time and we want to cover a ton of them. But just to give you some ideas to work with, that's, a good fun one, seminars.
Yeah. So I think the seminars came really into play with COVID when everybody kind of shut down a little bit and we weren't able to be face to face. So the seminars are really good because you can do them virtually and it's literally no cost. I think
No,
that's
and
the
you
biggest
can,
thing about all of our ideas today is almost all of them are little to no cost.
yeah, we do discuss some paid generation and stuff, but with all of this stuff, you just really have to find what works for you, like I said. And also with that is it's good to have some sort of mix, of paid ones and, your normal ones that you do every day.
Yeah. Our team has not put a seminar together yet, but it is on our agenda for this year. So I'm really excited about that. And our plan is to partner with a lender. So that way we have somebody there to answer those questions. We live in a military town. So our focus will be we almost kind of want to do something along the lines of base housing to home ownership.
Yep. We actually
So
have most of the program planned all out and everything. We just need to schedule it and get it ready to launch.
and we're going to have snacks.
Snacks, tacos, maybe.
Another topic I guess we'll jump right into is farming a neighborhood. And this can mean lots of different things to different people. So we'll kind of take it at, what's the word I'm looking for? You're farming a neighborhood, right? So most of the time you're going to live in that neighborhood or have some kind of connection to that neighborhood. Farming a neighborhood is not tomorrow business or today business. It's mostly brand recognition and really becoming the expert of the stats. So you're going to need to take some time to study those, your days on market, your average list price. You're going to want to know the types of offers that are coming in, the types of financing. But you just want to be the expert of that neighborhood. And really the only way to be the expert of the neighborhood is to be a part of the neighborhood, in my opinion. It's really hard to be like, oh, I'm the expert of this neighborhood, but I live 2 hours away.
I think it should also say that this is not a lead generation that is instantaneous.
Correct. So I lived in a neighborhood for 6 years. And I had just gotten my real estate license when I moved into the neighborhood. But it took those 6 years to become that neighborhood expert. And then I moved. But I still have that connection. One of the biggest things is becoming involved with the neighborhood Facebook page so that you can be in the know. People are always up for neighborhood gossip, and that's usually who's moving in and who's moving out. You will know that someone's moving because somebody will post that there's a U-Haul truck in front of 123 Main Street.
Yeah, and if you don't have a Facebook neighborhood page, it's a great time to start one.
Yes. Nextdoor is another option for that. It doesn't even necessarily have to be Facebook. It could be Nextdoor. There's options that you have with Nextdoor that you can actually pay for advertising. But you get a lot of impressions with those. So when you're farming the neighborhood, you could host your open houses and maybe do like drinks on the driveway where you pull a cooler out to the back of the bottom of the driveway and invite people to come in. This works good on like a Friday night in the summertime when people are out walking, exercising, trying to like cool off from the weekend, get ready for the weekend.
Didn't you do a drinks in the driveway one?
I did, but I chose to do lemonade. I didn't do any fun stuff because I don't know. It's a touchy subject.
Well,
you really have to know who's going to be there.
You can always offer, both. You can have, mimosas or lemonade or sweet tea. You're in the South, sweet tea.
That's right. And then also, get a newsletter going for your neighborhood. Send out what's going on in the neighborhood. Just be the source of all information. When somebody posts on Facebook, hey, I'm looking for a plumber, be the person to suggest the plumber. That way they know that you're the expert of it all, including the neighborhood. And before you know it, they'll be calling you over anyone else.
That's right. Okay, so next up we have expireds and absentee owners. So expireds, when we're talking about expireds, you do not want to focus on the ones that have expired like this month, last month, or even in the last 6 months, really, because honestly, you're going to be doing the same thing that most other agents are. And a lot of agents at some of the big brokerages and stuff, they preach on, contacting expireds repetitively. So you're going to be in direct competition with all of those people. And the last thing that those sellers want is another agent to call them, asking them why their home is expired and if they want to list it again. Because typically they're getting 4 to 8 agents calling them.
Do you want to role play that real quick? What that would look like? Like you be the agent and you call me and I have an expired house, okay?
Okay.
Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
I want to list your expired house. Yeah, of course you want to list my expired house. Why didn't it sell the first time? You could have sold it the first time. The people you call who are expired are not going to be happy. They're not happy.
They're not going to be happy. And guess what? Sellers are already have a bad taste in their mouth because of agents for whatever the reason, because their house did not already sell. So they need a little love and support and a time to recuperate from their bad experience, whatever that was. It could have been their own fault. I mean, we all know that, not all sellers listen. They don't price homes accordingly. They don't do what we suggest all the time. But in the beginning, when they're still upset from their recent breakup, they will not be happy.
Right.
So I would suggest going back at least a year to 3 years for expireds and check them all out and just reach out. And it's a great time because the market's on fire everywhere. It's a great time to reach out and be like, hey, I know that you were at one point interested in listing your home for sale. And for whatever reason, it did not sell at that time. Now would be a great time to revisit that, situation. Are you still interested in selling? What has changed, et cetera, et cetera. And listen to the seller and find out what the pain points were from the previous listing. And what might have changed now. Okay. And obviously now they probably end up getting more money than they would have a year to 3 years ago.
And they probably have dealt with a tenant who has been a pain in the rear for the last year. They're over it. Because that's typically what happens. Your house doesn't sell, so you find a tenant to move into it. And that's not fun for everybody. Not everybody's made to be a landlord.
Yes. And then that can make them want to sell even more. So going into the landlord aspect leads me to the absentee owners that I want to talk about real quick. Absentee owners are a really great place to find listings because typically they're not invested in the home anymore. They don't live there. They're already out. So depending on, if they have tenants in there or what the status is with their lease agreements, it could be a pretty quick, sale for them. And now, with the market and the prices the way they are, it's a great opportunity to reach out to people who do not live in their homes that may be interested in selling them because the time is right. And they may, just be ready at that point to go ahead and list them. Some great ways to find the absentee owners that are free. You don't need to do these paid programs always. We are all about affordable, free lead generation. But
I have margaritas to buy.
That's right. Leads. And tacos. Tacos and margaritas we have to buy, mimosas. We have priorities, people. And paying for the leads aren't always it. So the absentee owners, depending, where you live, your county records department usually has public records of each neighborhood and stuff. So you can go in there and you can just basically farm a specific neighborhood. You don't want to do the whole town because it'll be so many, but just focus on a couple of neighborhoods at a time. And you can go in there, see Jen's down. She's ready for tacos and drinks.
How are you reaching out to these homeowners? Do you call them?
So once you go on here and you find the absentee owners, and how you do that is you're pulling that subdivision, you're looking at the address. And what happens is when the homeowner is listed, it's saying their mailing address. Okay, so if I'm in New Bern, North Carolina, and I pull a subdivision, and I see that owner and their address is in California, bingo, they're not living in that house, okay, for whatever reason at the time. So this is just what I do, but there are two different ways that I would suggest reaching out, okay? For one, I'm not going to pay for phone numbers because you do not want to mess with the do not call list.
It's scary.
It's so scary.
That's like $1 trillion if you mess up.
Bingo. So, and then less tacos. But if you you get their address and everything, you have their current mailing address. Okay, so there are two ways that I typically would do this. I would either use USPS, because you can go on there and you can upload addresses in there. Okay,
you can literally just download an Excel spreadsheet.
Yep, an Excel spreadsheet.
Every county is different.
Correct. Yes, and you can upload this into USPS, and they will make your postcard and they will mail it, because guess what? They already have carriers going out to every neighborhood to do this. Okay. That's also really good too for farming, what Athena was talking about earlier. You can just download an entire subdivision and send it to USPS and they'll send it all out. It's pretty affordable too. The second option is, I am a gigantic fan of send out cards, and probably need to do a deep dive into send out cards just one day because it's phenomenal. I just do the $97 a month program for that. And what happens is with a $97 program, I can mail unlimited amounts of postcards to people. So I do that for absentee owners, expireds. I do it for my clients. I send them postcards for all the holidays or congratulations, et cetera, et cetera. They also have like cool gifts and stuff you can send and stuff too. But back to the absentee owners, you can just upload that information in there and you can just send them a postcard, lickety split. And what would that postcard say, you might ask? But I would say something similar to the fact of, hey, have you thought about selling your home at XYZ?
Hey, have you heard how hot the market is?
Fire. Bombs.
You could even put a piece of fire on your postcard.
Yeah, I mean, so the possibilities are endless.
Another category that falls into this is not anything that we talked about, but I want to talk about it anyways, is for sale by owners.
Yeah.
So for sale by owners have it in their mind that they can sell their house, or else they wouldn't have tried to do it by themselves. Right. This is a funny story. So this is going to explain to you all how different Jess Cassity and Athena Caparola are. We're very similar and yet very different. We took a class at our former brokerage, and at the end of the class, there was an exercise that we all split apart and went to different corners of the room, and some people went outside. And we had to call for sale by owners, and we had to set an appointment. So Jess picks up the phone and dials the number. And I'm like, wow, Jess is really brave. Look at her go. Like, she's really paying attention. And then hands me the phone.
Listen, I have been very clear. Anybody who has been following me for any amount of time knows that I am very introverted. And these types of classes, I used to do all the things. I followed the rules. I attended the classes. These types of things make me shrivel up into a little ball and have the most amount of anxiety ever. So I will dial it all and then I will give it to somebody else to call right away. Full on panic. I mean, it's been that way my entire life. And my mom used to say, they can't see you on the other line. I don't care about them seeing me. I don't know what I expect them to say on the other end of the line, but whatever it is, I don't want to hear it.
Well, I set the appointment.
Jen agrees with me.
That's right. I set the appointment like a rock star. Just
2 appointments.
2 appointments. We went to 2 appointments that day. I even think I picked you up and took you to them. So guess what? We get to the appointment where 8 other agents just were.
Yep.
And we had the exact same scripts. as the other 8 agents.
Bingo.
It was not the most useful part of our day.
No, but I will say, you know, there are tons and tons of agents who are extremely successful with cold calling, door knocking, circle prospecting and stuff. But I will say, you know, times have changed and that is not the world today. And on the other side of that, the sellers, they're not down for that anymore. They used to like the personalization. They used to like a friendly door knock now. But guess what? Now, unless you want to be greeted at the door with a gun in your face, it's not all fun and games anymore to go door knocking.
I used to love door knocking.
Or waking up sleeping babies. Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Basically, unless you're a Girl Scout, unless you're a Girl Scout delivering Girl Scout cookies, nobody wants you at their door.
This would be a great time of the year to door knock, though, if you do door knock. If you have cookies with you.
With cookies, yes.
Okay, so are we done with the boring lead generation? Can we get into the fun stuff now?
All of it is fun.
All of it is fun, but we saved these ones for later because they're more fun. Online leads. Now, you can have online leads in different ways. Jess's face just went. And that's, again, how we're different, because I get an online lead and it is like a scavenger hunt for me. Like, I'm not giving up until they answer me. And
up for the challenge.
It is. It's a game. You have to, if you're going to do online leads, whether they're paid or, I mean, you can do Facebook online leads, you can do Zillow, you can do realtor.com. Those are the leads that you're going to get, that you're going to pay specifically for somebody to get in touch with you specifically, right? You pay these firms, these companies, and then they distribute the leads to you. And then there's also like Opcity and Chime, and then a lot of the banks have their own like speed to lead where you can go in and grab them. And those ones you pay a 30%, 40% referral.
And you need to make sure that you live in an area that has good service to accept those.
Yeah, you have to be fast. And then the algorithm of those, it almost is set up to help the top producing agents at that point of those leads, because the more you accept and the more you close, the quicker you're going to get the lead before other people get it.
Right.
And 30-40% is a lot to pay, but it's better than zero. So if you're just getting started, a lot of people will be like, don't buy leads, don't buy leads. It's okay.
Yep. And you don't have to pay for it until it closes, if it closes. So
right,
no loss up front except time.
Even, I mean, I have sat through class after class of people telling me not to buy leads.
Yeah.
My first 2 years in real estate were only successful because I had paid leads.
Can I just say something really quick to interrupt you? I just want to tell everybody the secret. The secret is that every top producing real estate agent or team across the nation is paying for Zillow leads. Secret's out. I'm telling it. I'm spilling it all. And you can go and you can check. And you can go look and see. It's okay. Yeah, absolutely. It is great to use that in your business. But don't let everybody else tell you that it's not happening. And that's not how you run a business.
Correct. And you don't have to make it. It does not have to be your main source of leads.
Nope.
But let it fill in the gaps when you can. However, the number one rule of online leads, whether you're paying for it, whether it's round robin, whatever it is you have to follow up.
Yeah.
You have to call them. Like, they're reaching out to you. They're literally like raising their hand and they want you to call them. Yep. So call them.
They're even telling you what else they like.
That's right. And then you have to have the correct systems. Once you call them, you have to have the right system to get them started, right? Yep. Because not everyone's going to be a ready to go buyer. So you have to put them on a drip, have them set up in your CRM. And a lot of times, I'm trying to think of like the best example that I have. I'm trying to think of the longest I chased a lead.
Yeah. I mean, they go for a really long time and
years, like 2 years. I think I have chased a lead for 2 years.
Yeah. And I will say, a lot of people, they get burnt out with the online leads because the minute that somebody calls them, they're like, oh yeah, you want to go see this house that's an hour away and it's $80,000 cash only. Oh, but you need financing? No problem. I'll meet you there. But guess what? If they keep doing that every time somebody calls, they're like, these leads suck. I'm not working them anymore. Well, the problem is you don't have the right systems in place to process that online lead, whatever that may look like for your business. Okay. Are you requiring a pre-approval first? Have you asked if they've talked to a lender? Are they going to pay the cash? Is an hour away worth your time and investment?
Right. So if you need to buy the leads, be smart about it, and let your CRM do the work.
That's right. That's right.
Moving on.
Boom. Next up, social media for lead generation. Okay. I mean, I don't think we really need to talk about this for very long because I feel like everybody knows that social media is probably the number one way to get your name, your business, and to build your client base out there in the world right now. And that means, depending on, what areas of social media you excel in, if it's Instagram, if it's TikTok, if it's Facebook, YouTube, make it work for you. You do not have to do all the things all the time. That's silly. You only have so many hours, okay? And you also have to show houses, list houses. You don't have time to be everywhere, okay? So just pick the ones that you want. And I would focus on video content. I think that doing market updates and stuff, they're good for keeping people in the know and stuff, but they're freaking boring and people don't want to see that all the time. That's
what's not boring? Babies
and ducks and goats. They love all the behind the scenes stuff. Miniature horses.
I showed a house the other day that had a tractor in the garage. Like, not a baby lawnmower, a tractor. That doesn't happen very often. So you bet your ass I put a picture on my story and everybody commented on it because you don't see it every day.
That's it. You have to make yourself stand out and be different. If you're just posting market stats, you're doing the same thing that every other agent in your area is doing, right? But what's different is where you're working. What are you doing today? Where do you like to go? How do you treat your clients? What are you doing special for them? Show all of that. That's what they want to see. They don't want to be the boring stuff. So that's what I would say. Just be more personable in your social media, okay? And if you're not down for the videos of your face being on it, shoot a video of other stuff. It doesn't have to be you all the time.
Do you want to talk about the difference between, because I struggled with this for a really long time until you helped me with it. Do you want to talk about the difference between a boosted, you're talking about organic social media right now, but do you also want to talk about the difference between a boosted post and an ad?
Yes, I do. Okay. So the main big difference between doing a full-on ad, and this is either in Facebook or Instagram, okay? They're all together now. You can, schedule them from Facebook really because Facebook owns Instagram now. But the main big difference is that you can niche down so much more in an ad than you can in a boosted post. Okay, so you start out as a campaign, and then from there you can break that down into different ad sets. So if that campaign type works really good, you can just continue to repeat that in different ad sets. So the big piece really is different targeting pieces. You have more advantage in the back office of creating the ads through Facebook and Instagram. Now the boosted posts are really good if you can't do the ads, because it's so easy. So if that's what you want to do and you're scared to do the other stuff and you don't have the time, you can do a boosted post. Okay, so a boosted post would be something that you've already created on your social media accounts already, and then you just want to boost that post so that it goes out to more people. And
like an open house?
Yes. So you could do, an open house. You could boost a post with any links to any of the landing pages that you've created. The possibilities are endless. I would not boost a post with seller tips or buyer tips or something, because all it's going to do is just see more people. That's it. But you really, all of your posts and every single social media thing that you do should have a CTA. That's a call to action. You need to tell people what to do. They don't know. If you just post a picture, they're just going to look at it, right? But if you tell them what to do,
someone else who's a realtor because you made them think that they need to call a realtor.
Have you ever
forgot
played
to
the
say that
game?
you're the realtor.
Have you ever played the game Lemmings? They're these little green people, and you have to tell them where they're going to go, or they'll fall off the cliff. So if you don't put a wall up, they're just going to fall, all of them. Hundreds, thousands of little lemmings will fall off the cliff unless you build them stairs or something. So sellers and buyers, investors, they're all the same way as these lemmings. You have to tell them what to do. Do you want them to go to your website? Do you want them to go fill out a home evaluation? Do you want them to sign up for your newsletter? What do you want them to do? Besides buy a house.
Let me sell their house.
Okay, but you have to give them something in return. Show them that you're going to provide them value. So that's what you need to do for social media. Again, we're not diving in deep to every single one of these and giving you the absolute playbooks today. Yeah, forever.
I have a good one. Up next is ABC.
Yes.
Always be closing. And a lot of people are like, I'm always closing, but I don't want to be a salesman. That sounds really salesy. It's not, I promise. But always be closing is going into every single transaction that you have with your clients, looking for a future sale. You're going to do this in different ways. The first is you're going to give them the best client experience ever so that they don't ever think to call anyone except for you. Make them know that they are the number one client. Doesn't matter how many you're working at the time, they're number one, always. And then they won't ever think to call anyone except for you. You're always going to follow up with them because otherwise they'll forget who you are no matter how great you were. But the other thing is keep in mind who your client is. So I guess my, the best way to explain this is I had a client come to me through OpCity. Mind you, that was the source of the client, OpCity.
Wait, were you paying for leads?
No, I received a referral from OpCity when it closed.
Oh,
okay. Also, I'm not ashamed to say this, but at one point in time, I was the number one agent in our area for closing OpCity leads.
Yay.
That's
hard.
It was hard. And you know what? They were like one was $30,000. It was a $30,000 home. But I closed it and my client never knew the difference.
That's right.
She was treated like she bought $1 million home.
Sometimes those $30,000 clients turn into multi-million-dollar clients.
Down the road they do, that's right.
Because of your ABC.
What I was saying is that I had this client and he came to me. He was not even old enough for us to pull his work history. We had to pull, the lender pulled his high school transcripts because he wasn't old enough.
Wow.
But he bought a house. He bought the cutest little 2-bedroom house. And now he's on baby number 2. And guess what? He needs it to sell because he's got to have a 3-bedroom. So that's what I mean. Find your client something that they're going to love right then, but that they're always going to be wanting to change. They're going to be wanting to change.
Systems.
That's what always be closing is. Making sure that you are checking in with your clients to know what their real estate goals are in life. What are their financial goals? And it might even be, hey, we're going to buy this fixer-upper. We're going to fix it. We're going to do all the improvements that it needs to be done that no one else wants to touch. We're going to make $100,000. Then we're going to take $100,000 and put it as a down payment to our nicer home. Then we're going to live in that for 2 years. Then we're going to sell that. Then we're going to put $200,000 in. It's like a complete domino effect. So just watch for those.
Or those first-time home buyers, then they reach out because their parents want to move here too, to be near them.
That's right. Military buyers, don't take your military buyers, please, please, please. I'm so passionate about this. Do not take your military buyers and put them in a house just to get a commission check. Please. You are not doing yourself a favor. You're not doing them a favor, and you're not doing our market a favor. Just don't do it. Find them a home that they will be comfortable in financially and physically,
Yep.
and that you will want to sell when they get orders in 2 to 3 years. Otherwise, you're going to be selling a pig with lipstick.
Yes. And I'm so glad that you've said that too, because especially, you know, military or first time home buyers, you know, when you're selling them, you know, their budgets tend to be a little bit, you know, lower. And you can't just focus on that commission, just sell a house to sell it. Because
Right.
if you do it right, those people are going to be reaching out to you to sell it. And then do you want to turn around and list a home that you sold a buyer that probably should have been condemned? And now that seller is going to look at you and be like, why didn't we ask for that stuff to be fixed?
That's right. Don't push them through the home inspection and tell them that this isn't really that important just to get it closed. Get it.
They're not going to be there that long. They're not going to be there that long. It won't matter.
Well, it's going to come up on the next home inspection, and then it's going to be their problem when it could have been the first seller's problem. Okay.
Bingo.
So that got me heated.
I got you all worked up, huh? So I wanted to say about your ABC clients and stuff, nurturing and doing all that stuff really comes down to you having your systems in place. So we go back and talk to those systems all the time, but let your systems do the heavy lifting. You know, have a program, a system in place for your client intakes and concierge system so that you move them through this process seamlessly. Right? Okay, so next up, niche marketing to generate leads. And what does that mean? I'm not just talking about, you know, your first-time home buyers, your second-time home buyers. I'm talking about like really finding your passion in the world outside of real estate and using that to generate leads. So for example, if you love horses, you can become, you know, an equestrian land expert or property expert if that's in your area. If you are passionate about reading books, you know, start a book club. And then guess what? Your sphere that you're just building around yourself, you're generating leads from by doing what you love. And
we don't get a lot of extra time as a real estate agent. Like, I don't know about you, but I don't have time to go between the kids, the dogs, and work. I don't have time to go do something. So make your hobby your work.
Exactly. And if this stuff makes you happy, it won't feel like work and you'll want to do it. It won't be like me going door knocking because that's not going to happen. Right? That's not passionate for me. But if you're into, you know, kickball or soccer or softball, you know, join those clubs.
Should I tell my kickball story?
Yeah, do it. That's a great one.
I'm a storyteller today. I joined the spouse kickball team on base because I'm going to meet new friends and I'm going to take on a hobby and I want to be healthier. I'm not 25. It was hard. I took a lot of Motrin. I had to stretch myself a lot. And I'm not fast. And I'm not a good catcher. But I sold 4 homes that season from my kickball team. And I had fun. So, like, you can step out of your comfort zone. That's okay. Just take your Motrin with you. And your water.
That's right.
Stay hydrated.
But you need to tell the rest of that story about how you made so many friends.
Jen knows exactly what I'm talking about.
That's right.
But I'm like, did you know that these kickball teams have like travel teams?
I did not know that.
They do. They like travel to other places.
Military bases?
And compete. It's crazy.
I did not know that, but I think that it's a great way for people to get in shape. But it's also great to make friends.
Maybe health isn't your main focus this year. And that's okay. Maybe you're already healthy. You could take on like a dog rescue, right? And go walk the dogs for an hour a week. And if you think those people won't share the heck out of you just because they appreciate you, like they will be your biggest fans.
Yeah. And I mean, it doesn't even have to be like maybe, you're not into that kind of stuff anyways. And it doesn't have to be, sports related or anything like that. But, like if you live on the river, if you live on the ocean and you know a lot about waterfront properties, you can specialize in waterfront properties or river life or ocean life or I don't know. I don't think stream life.
People love to know that they're working with the expert. Like they want to know that they're working with the best of the best. So if you promote yourself as the expert of the Neuse River or the Trent River,
that's right.
then people will follow you because you are the expert.
Yeah, but find what you enjoy doing because at the end of the day, real estate is hard. It's lonely and it's a lot of work. So if you find the ways that it brings you joy, it will make everything fall into place and so much better at the end of the day.
That's right.
All right, next
moving
step.
on. Past clients and orphan clients.
Ooh, what are orphan clients?
Orphan clients are my favorite. Orphan clients are your client. So you list a house and you sell your house. You sell the seller's. You sell the seller's house.
So you're the listing agent.
You're the listing agent and you sell the seller's house. Guess what? There was a buyer.
There was a buyer.
I don't know the exact statistics, so I'm not even going to make one up, but chances are their agent will not follow up after the closing. They won't even call them to see if they are okay 30 days later. They're going to cash their commission check and they're going to be on their way.
That's all they care about.
It is the perfect opportunity. Send them. I mean, once they're closed, as long as you're coming from a place of value, send them what you want. Send them a welcome package of the neighborhood. Hey, welcome. I thought you might want to know these are the places that deliver. Or I thought you might want to know these resources of the neighborhood. Send that to them. Send them an anniversary card. Hey, you've been in the house 6 months. Don't forget to change your air filter. Should have done it 5 months ago.
You can give them a closing gift. You can leave them a closing gift at the home.
You can. And as long as, like I said, as long as you're doing it from value, orphan clients are a great source of referrals.
And guess what? You already have their address.
That's right. And most of the time you have their email address because it gets shared. I'm not saying steal people's clients. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying come from a place of value.
Correct.
Always. And just let people know that you care about them and you care about the transaction. So
yes, but add them to your database.
That's right. And that's the whole point of the past clients and the orphan clients is put them in your database, put them on a property drip. Just because they closed, they still want to know what closed in their neighborhood. So put them on a closed drip instead. Keep up with those drips, tag them in your database so that you can go through and find out who closed in May of 2020.
And, a lot of times, they didn't have a good experience with their agent. Maybe their agent wasn't communicating with them and maybe you were the only one that held the whole transaction together. So maybe they appreciate you.
A lot.
Yep.
That's right. So that's past clients and orphan clients. Talk to them. Let them know that they're important. Let them know that you appreciate them. Remember their milestones. Past clients are your best referral source that you can find. They're free. They've already loved you because you've given them such a great experience. So just love on them and they'll love on you back.
So that is a great transition into MVP groups. So one of the big things that we like to focus on is our either past clients or the people that are so valuable to us and they may not have even used us yet, but they are the first ones to recommend us to other people. So all of those people are MVPs. anybody who will recommend you as the go-to real estate agent in your area, right? So all of those are MVPs, which means most valuable partners, okay? So those people, you need to set up some sort of system to love on them a little bit extra than you do the rest of your past clients. So if that means sending them, a monthly card or a monthly, Starbucks gift card, whatever it is that you want to set up, you go ahead and you do it, but you show them how appreciative you are of them, and creating
Literally,
those MVP programs.
Yeah, the second they tag you on Facebook, you better have a messenger up thanking them for it with a gift card attached to Starbucks.
Yes, exactly.
Because they're going to keep doing it. That's free advertisement. So you don't have to sit and babysit these Facebook groups, these local groups, because you have a whole group of MVPs that are doing it for you.
And those people are going to be more valuable to somebody asking for an agent than you raising your own hand.
Correct. I would much rather see a recommendation from someone else than the person themselves.
Yep.
Because anybody can say they're perfect and they're awesome and they're amazing.
Everybody thinks they are.
All right. We have one. Oh, well, let's just talk about this real quick. We're kind of running long, so I guess we need to wrap it up. But our team keeps our MVPs in a Facebook group. That's it. That's all.
Number 10.
And if you're wondering how to keep them together, make it a Facebook group. Make them feel like they're like super special, that they have access to the elite team. They're right where they need to be. Keep them all together. Ready?
Number 10.
Am I the next one?
You're the next one.
This is our last one. This is number 10. Right here in our Facebook group. Use each other for referrals. That's why we started this, was to help you guys. We want you to be able to talk to each other and find the best agents, because hopefully you are here because you want to grow and you want to learn. We don't accept everybody into this group. Like Jess goes through and she makes sure that you are not a secret agent, that you're somebody who has, the right focus, that you're looking for your clients. So our whole objective in this is to put together this group where you can share referrals and make sure that you're capitalizing on that. So don't be a secret agent in this group. Tell people where you're from.
Yep. And there's actually a featured post in the group where you can write your location and stuff. But we're also going to be working on a map that y'all can just go on there and tag where your location is, and then anybody can just pull it up and find somebody in that area. So we're going to work on that.
Okay. So recap. You want a list? I love doing the recap. Can I always do the recap?
Do the recap, girl.
Number 1, seminars. Host a seminar, whether it's in person or online.
Yep.
Call your lender partners. Let them help you.
Yep.
Don't do it all on your own. Farm a neighborhood. Be the expert. Be the source of all knowing.
All the things.
I know it all. Also, can I just say one more thing about farming a neighborhood?
Yes, if you hurry.
It's really sad when you see another agent's sign right next door. So don't let that happen. Own your neighborhood. Okay. Expired. We're not calling the ones that expired today and they're angry and they're mad and they're frustrated. Call the ones. Be strategic about it. Make lists. Follow up with them. And you might actually find that you have to reach out to them more than once.
Oh.
Online leads. Pay for it if you have to. Take the referral leads if you have to. It's okay.
Don't be embarrassed.
No. And call us for scripts. Because like I said, first 2 years of real estate was all online leads. Social media, I can't even start to talk about everything that you can get into, but don't be a secret agent and tell people you're a realtor and that you want to help them. Be helpful.
Be real.
Always be closing. Do things for the right reason and your clients will come back to you. Oh, That's a mic drop. Okay.
Tagline.
Niche marketing. Find something that's fun and do it. And find people, tell people in your groups, hey, I'm a realtor. I want to help you. Past clients and orphan clients, love on your people. They love you, love them back. In fact, if you take one thing from today's podcast, if you need a lead today, like if your life depends on it, you have to put something under contract today. You have to find a lead today. You could go through your past clients, and I guarantee you, someone will know someone. Okay. And last but not least, your MVP groups. Love on your people. I just can't say it enough. Just love on your people.
That's right.
Yay!
So, just to end this really quickly, what doesn't work is fine. Okay. Figure out what doesn't work for you. If it's door knocking, some people, it works for you in the beginning and then you evolve and it doesn't work. It's fine. Move on. There's a whole list of other stuff that you can do that works for you. Okay. Mailing things, it's slow. It takes a little while. You have to put a lot more time into it. It's not going to happen overnight. Okay. Desk duty, being on call. This is great if you need quiet time to get things done, but also, you get interrupted by other agents, and it isn't the best way of spending your time most of the time. Okay. But
because you have to go find your clients.
Right. They're not walking by.
They don't walk in the door anymore. They don't do that. Literally, Google is on their phone. They're gonna find
Zillow and Realtor. Yes. And I mean, most of them are on Zillow and Realtor. They're not looking for the local real estate agents, and they're not going in. They're not walking in anymore. They're not asking for a list of homes that are for sale, because guess what? That list is this big now, and they're not getting it. Okay.
It's already closed before it prints off.
That's right. It's done. But if you guys want to dive deeper into any of the things that we talked about, because we actually do have systems in place for all of these items that we run, join us in the elite program. We would love to have you a part of our team. It's all free if you're over there with us, and we are an open book, and we love to help each of you grow individually. Send us a message.
We can do one-on-ones and go into any of these ideas as deep as you want.
Yep. But we would love to partner with you. So reach out to us. We want to talk to you. All right. Well, we are at the end of our time now, and I know y'all got to go sell some houses and eat some tacos. So go on, and we will see you guys next Tuesday.